Dr. Gupta, my name is Bhatia. 50 years back, I used to be an engineer. Today, I am a layman. Your talk was very fascinating. You made reality into fiction. Thank you for that. But there was one remark in your initial remarks that today doctors find that taking fats is more useful. Day after they'll find proteins are very useful. And the day after, vitamins are necessary. But the remark you made, you take the decision. I'm sorry, being a layman, I go to you as a doctor, looking to cure me, and then you're asking me to take the decision?
I have only just few suggestions. Hello.
Hello, your good name, sir?
I am D.K. Agarwal. I am a retired industrial advisor, Ministry of Industry. I just want to know that whatever the good things in various system of medicine, why that should not be an interactive approach should not be taken. If something good in Ayurveda, why allopathy doctors should not suggest that thing? If it is convinced that there is something better in Ayurvedic or in homeopathic or in Unani, is some sort of a best system cannot be devised. Or what I mean to say, in MBBS course, there's something should not be taught about the Ayurveda or to the homeopath or some to give an idea. This is just a, I do not know whether it is possible. And second thing, I was just wondering, when the cloning of the animals is not bad and it is being done, why cloning of human beings is not considered good? If it serves the purpose of the, any science, or if people can be cured, if I am having some disease, and if cloning of myself can be benefited, what is wrong in it? And I am not able to. And third thing, what I wanted to say, that medicines are so costly, and the poor man is finding difficult to get it. And in some ways to be found out, particularly as our doctor said that they can find out from the smell that person is diabetic. I find today there is a tendency on the part of doctors, if you go to some doctor, he will write 8 or 10 tests, blood test and urine test and this thing. I can show you a prescription where 8 tests have been written, not to me, to some my friend. So there is a tendency, and some hospitals, they ask their doctors that they should write a number of tests so the hospitals can be benefited. By way of test, they can earn something. So that tendency, if it is correct, that is wrong according to I only think.
So should we take this question? So Pratapji says Dolly the sheep had cancer. Or do they have cancer? That being so, the scientists had another concern whether what has been cloned is as good as the original. It looks as good, but is it functionally as original? Do they suffer from disease? Will they be able to also generate their own new progeny, new generation? Now those things have been studied at different levels during the past 2 decades. They have been made to, amongst the, so they had these 100 clones and they made them mate amongst themselves and the new generation comes in. But you are right, there is a concern about the cancer not only in the cloned sheep, including the Dolly who died, and also in all these stem cell results, that concern remains.
Yes.
We have not seen it in human beings, we have not seen it. So wherever we adopted after making sure in what we call double-blind control trials that this is safe or this is better than what is the alternative available. If you remember this Spanish school teacher I talked about, there are no alternatives. So you are willing to take something which may not have such good results also. So your first concern is right. The second one is India alone has 30,000 maybe stem cell centers, and they cure anything from hair to impotence to cancer to everything. There are a couple of them at the backside of AIDS.
Right.
And they actually have created more problems. Now, you have said it very right. There are 3 or 4 countries in the world, India is one of them, where there is a mushrooming of so-called stem cell centers. And we have seen them, what they do actually has nothing to do with stem cell treatment. Let me put it like this. Any part of the body that you take will have some stem cells. So you draw a blood out, you will find one in several thousand as a stem cell. You take the skin cells, I have told you, you take the fat cells, you take the same pancreas cells, they'll all have some stem cells. So you can always claim that if I take your blood out and I put it in again, I am injecting stem cells. This is not how medical scientists work. When they take this, and I think there are 24 projects on stem cell which are running in AIIMS. I attended one of the, the outcome of those projects, one of those meetings. So when you look at those medical scientists, what they do is when they have these stem cells, first thing is they make sure that these are stem cells. What we call, you identify them. You take them out and then you determine their number. And for a stem cell therapy, you must inject a given number,
Correct.
which does not happen in 99.9% of these 30,000 centers who are just fleecing the public.
Correct.
Government of India, ICMR, has come out with guidelines. Now, there are times when it is difficult to implement, just like the guidelines of medical practice are also difficult to implement. We'll come to the next question of so many tests, so many investigations, so many treatments being written down. So those are the implementation and monitoring issues. But 30,000 stem cells does not make a big credit to our country. I think it is a big discredit to our country. Faith in doctor.